So here we are for part 3, which is going to be infusion and cooking day. I've got everything sandwiched in there. It's held vacuum well enough to infuse. I've got all my epoxies ready to go. And then also, you'll see underneath, I've got my hot plates cooking, which I use 4 of them. They're spread out evenly. They're just on an automatic temperature thing, and they get the mold hot enough to actually do something with when it's only 50 degrees in here. So we're going to start the infusion and see how things go. This is my mixing station. I made this bit out of leftover collector cuts from building manifolds and random other things. I've already got the epoxy in there. Now we just have to add the hardener. Which, that's good enough. Now we go to town and mix it. The better you mix it, the better it's going to infuse, and the stronger the part's going to turn out. That's why I went nuts with this bit. Ooh, fun noises. Try not to mix a lot of air bubbles in while I'm doing it. I've got the vacuum pump on. We've got the resin pot settled. And all that's preventing it is this one little clamp. So here goes. And then it hits that bottleneck, so I give it a little squeeze, open it up, boom, there it goes. And that's the flow media. Right in the previous little clip, you noticed the big air bubbles that were happening. I did have a small leak in the bag, and you could see it bubbling away. So I moved the bag and found it. So I'm going to get some tape on it. Found it. You can clearly see there's no more bubbles. These things never go exactly to plan. You always have to chase one little leak. So now you can see it's starting to infuse all the way across. You can see the air working out from the leak that was in there. That'll not be a problem. That's why we infuse. It's making good progress. Nice even infusion across the part. Infusion is almost done. We almost reached all the way across. Another few minutes, we'll be able to cap off the line. Fully infused. Had to track down a couple little vacuum leaks, but we got it dialed. And now we crank up the heat on these bad boys. get this thing cooking as soon as possible. Now that there's a good bag and a good infusion, these are cooking hard. Doing pretty well. You still got hot spots with the heaters, but eventually, a lot of it is because the resin kicks. The epoxy kicks, generates heat, and then it spreads throughout the part. While this cooks, I always have to stay busy. So we're going to go work on Steve's wing. We'll finish where we left off with part one. Basically need to build plates that will ride underneath the top skin. And then these will protrude through the surface skin. So amazingly enough, I'm not sure if it was on purpose, but these vibrant boxes, I'll give them a little plug for the years of support in the past. These are perfect for tracing shapes and fabrication and stuff. They're not full on thick like big old cardboard, but they're thin enough you can still cut them with scissors. It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna come up with a shape and do the same thing I did in part one, go convert it to titanium. Got the basic size trimmed out. It's a little wider than it needs to be, so it spreads the load across both attachment points. Every little bit helps. I decided to cut the holes or drill the holes out for the wing mount brackets while they were still flat. You can see the template. Transfer to titanium. Now I'm going to weld them. Now for the full weld, I'm going to prep a back purge on the back side of the weld, and then you can see my breath, and then we'll be buzzing away. Here they are both welded. It's the rough positioning. They'll obviously be on the inside of the wing. Getting closer. Now let's go check on Dan's wing, which has been cooking for a few hours now. You can see the temperature dropped from earlier, which means it's kicked. Wing's done. With the wing cooking for the past couple hours, I'll unplug the hot plates and let it sit overnight. I don't like to demold them when they're warm. They're just too flexy. So let it cook for another 12 hours and we'll pop it out in the morning.